Okay. Okay, let's go back to the previous one. Okay. Okay, so this is our presentation one. Presentation one involves one subject and two actions. And these are all marked with our blue color cards, right? So always start with your action words and start asking questions. Who, why, what, okay? Now, if you have a sentence, the dog barked and growled, start with your action words, barked and growled. Ask questions, who barked? The dog. Who growled? The dog, okay? So you can have more sentences this way for your practice. And the second presentation which we were talking is, it involves two subjects and two actions. Now, if you're taking this sentence, he washed and she dried, always start with the action words. So try to put the action words here. So washed and dried, ask questions. Who washed? He washed. Who dried? She dried. Okay, so how should you be cutting your words? This way. Now, do I have two subjects? Yes. First subject, second subject. Do I have two actions? First action, second action. So my sentence is complete. So I can have more sentences like this to help the child to practice. Now in the third presentation, we are concentrating more or less on the orange cards here. Now here I will have one subject. So one noun, one action, one thing. Okay. Now say if we have a sentence like he swept the floor. So what is the action? Swept. Start with that. So I'm going to cut this. The floor becomes our object, correct? So start with this action word. Try to pick the action symbol from your grammar symbol box. Place your action card on that. And now start asking questions. Who swept the floor? He. What did he sweep? The floor. Ask questions. The child will have to give you the answer. Only after the child gives you the answer, you have to place the card. That becomes very important for us. So more sentences. Neeta cooked biryani. So what is my action? Cooked. So first we are going to be keeping this. Okay. Now who cooked? Neeta. What did she cook? Biryani. Okay. So we can also have preposition. The dog slept on the sofa. What is the action? Slept. So always start with slept. Who slept? Dog. Where did the dog sleep? On the sofa. So your actions, your arrow mark should also point depending upon the questions that you're going to be asking. Clear, everyone? That's our presentation 3. Okay. Now when you're going to your presentation 4, now presentation 4 will have yellow cards. Now in your yellow cards, you will have one subject, one action, two things. They'll specifically mention, okay? So make a sentence which involves one subject, one action, two things. If you're not able to get any sentence, just imagine yourself. Yourself. Say for example, my name is Shika. So one subject. So I will take Shika's name here. Right? So subject is Shika. What one action? What does one action Shika does? Maybe Shika cooks. Okay, so that is one action. But I need two things that she cooks. Two things. Maybe she cooks what else? Maybe she cooks rice. And maybe she cooks dal. See, it is so easy. When you are connecting with yourself, it becomes easy. So one subject, one action, two things. So I can say Shika cooks rice and dal. What is my action? This. Who cooks? How should be my arrow?
Towards towards the subject.
Towards the subject, yes. So we mark the subject arrow there towards that side, towards Shika. Okay, where's my mouse? Where am I drawing? Okay, it has to go this way. What does she cook? She cooks rice. And so I have to put my other label card here. And that. Easy. So how should this be? I have to take again my label cards. I have to be placing over here. Please do not forget on the label cards here. Okay, so first I have to take my action symbols. And then is what I'm going to be placing my nouns. Okay, so more sentences we can actually make on that. Coming to our presentation 5. 2 subjects, 2 actions, 2 things. Do I have 2 subjects here?
He, she.
Yes, ma'am. He, she.
Yeah, he and she are 2 subjects. Okay, so what are the 2 actions?
Through and swung.
Okay, so I have 2 actions here. Threw and swung. What are the 2 things?
The ball, the ball and bat.
The ball, the bat.
Ball and bat.
Yeah. Now, what is the first thing that I have to concentrate? Where do I start with? Always with? Action. So, shall we start dividing the label card? I'm going to cut this way. Am I doing right? So, we're going to be cutting. So, you will cut this in front of the invigilator. Okay? We have these many parts. So, that's the reason what we always say is we should have two sentences. One for the reference, one for cutting. So, make 2 cards with the same sentence. Cut it in front of your invigilator. Then start demonstrating your exercise. So, always pick threw, swung. So, I have 2 things. Who swung? Who threw? He threw. What did he throw? The ball. Who swung? She swung. What did she swing? The bat. Okay. So, here, does the question change? The question here was who? Correct? What was the question here?
What?
What? Okay, so that's the reason I told you. You might also write questions. You might also write questions which can be related to each of that. It's a very easy one. So always remember the color codes of these sentences. It should have the color codes like, 2 subjects, 2 actions, 2 things you can have. So in your exam, in case if you're getting, what would you do? You will take a A4 sheet, border it with the black, write the sentence in the black sketch pen, color that with the red crayon or a red color pencil. So that becomes your statement. Okay. Or if you have a red origami sheet, you can write on that. Whatever is convenient to you. So that's our presentation 5. Moving to our presentation 6. It is all with 2 subjects, 2 actions, and 1 thing. Shall we start decoding? Where are the subjects? The boy,
Boy,
the
girl.
What about 2 actions? Washed,
Washed and dried.
dried. What is 1 thing?
Dishes.
Dishes.
And
Dishes. Right? So we are using this is also the dishes. She washed the dishes and the girl dried them. Okay. So you can ask questions again here. Who washed? The boy washed. Who dried? The boy dried. What did he wash? Washed the dishes. What did she dry? She dried the dishes, right? So this is all in your pink color. So sometimes what you can do, you know that you don't have to do this card. You can point your arrow here itself. Okay, so you can point your arrow here itself. So that's our presentation 6. Presentation 7 is quite interesting because it was a long sentence that we are going to be working with. And yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is multiple actions and objects. Okay, one subject. Now, before doing such a big sentence, let's do a simple one. Let's take any of your names. Okay, so we write with whose name? Can somebody give me your name? A whiteboard. Shall we take whose name? One subject. I need one subject's name.
RV.
RV. Okay. So ARVI. Okay. So we are going to talk about RV. And she is our subject. And RV can do what? RV have to do multiple things. Correct? So she has to do multiple actions And each of the actions should involve an object. For example, Arvi can do what? First, we will list what all she can do.
She can eat, play,
Jump,
can
read,
eat.
write, sleep.
Arvi
Sing
can
song.
eat. She can play. She can read.
Cry, laugh.
Okay. She can laugh. But again, I have to involve an object to it. So be careful.
run,
Okay, okay.
Sing,
Okay, she
run,
can run.
write, read.
Throw, catch,
She can
clean,
catch. Okay.
jump,
She
clean,
can jump.
She can
wash.
Write,
Uh-huh.
write,
write,
right, ma'am,
Right.
She
right.
can write.
Right.
Okay, she can write.
She can write,
She can
Okay,
sing.
I finished. She can sing. Okay, she can sing.
listen,
Dance,
She can
dance,
dance. Okay.
She can wash.
Not dance. There
listen,
is no SH. It is dance. You can either say
Dance.
dance or you can say dance. Either British or American. No dance. SH will not come. Yeah. Okay, she can dance. Then
listen,
she can listen.
Pick also, ma'am.
She can
PICK.
pick. Okay, let's stop at this. Okay. Now, RV is able to do so many things. Now, can we go specific? RV eats what? One object.
apple,
RV eats an apple. RV plays what? Maybe I'll put tennis. RV reads what?
book,
She reads a book. Okay. RV runs what?
Very
fast,
Marathon.
Fast.
No, not action. How does she? We're not talking
Okay.
adverbs. We're talking about
Mm.
object.
Action.
Marathon.
noun, object,
Okay, noun. Yeah. Catch the ball. She jumps a rope.
Write notes.
Write notes.
Sing song. Sing a song.
Sing song. No? Okay. Maybe I'll put Bharatanatyam. Listen.
Music.
Music.
music,
Pick.
pencil,
Bat.
Pick a pencil.
Bag.
Okay. Now you involve everything. Now when I have this, such a thing, now what do I do? How do I cut? So my first cutting is going to be RV, right?
yes.
yes,
So RV comes here, correct? So I write RV. Next, I have to have all my actions, whatever RV does. She eats, she plays, she reads, she runs, she jumps, she catches, she sings, all of that here. And what does she do? She eats what? She eats an apple, she plays tennis, she reads a book, she runs a marathon, she catches the ball, she jumps on the rope, she writes notes, she sings songs, she dances Bharatanatyam, she listens to music, so many things. Now, who eats? It's RV. Who plays? It's RV. Who reads? It's RV. Okay, who runs? It's RV. What does she run? She runs a marathon. What does she read? She reads a book. Okay, so your arrows will point to objects. So this is your last statement, which will be colored in white color. Okay, so if you forget the statement, just think about yourself. Your one subject, you can do multiple actions, and each of the objects can include an object also. Now, when we go back to the book, there is a statement, right? So when we go back to our book, what is the statement that they have given in your book? The book says, he mowed the grass, raked the leaves, wooded the garden, pruned the roses, chipped the bushes, watered the flowers, replaced the tools, and admired the landscape. What a beautiful example, no? Now we take he, that's our subject. What are our actions? Mowed, raked, wooded, pruned, clipped, watered, replaced, admired. These are our actions. So you try to take the label card and you put it. So we have so many action cards. Likewise, I should also have my arrow marks, so many. So I take my black arrow marks also. Okay. Who moved? He moved. Who raked? He raked. Ask questions. What did he move? The grass. So I would also have my grass being on my other cards. And towards the end, I would have a conjunction. I put my conjunction here. So that completes our 7 presentations of simple sentence construction. A very simple exercise, very easy, very scoring. You either get 1 or you either get 2. If they might ask you, perform a presentation 5 and 6, or they can give you only 1 presentation also. So what is your, this thing that you have to remember? Each presentation is what color? So maybe you can put it in your book, so presentation 1 is what color? We started with blue, then with green, then with orange. Remember, so the first blue one had 1 subject and 2 actions. Green one had 2 subjects,
2 actions.
2 actions. Orange one had
One subject
1
and one
subject,
action.
1 action, 1
One
thing.
thing.
Very good.
Yeah.
After orange, we got into
Yellow.
yellow color. So yellow color was 2
One
actions,
subject, one action,
1
two
subject,
things.
1 subject, 2 things,
One action, 2
One
things.
action,
1
2
action.
things.
One-
Okay. And then from there, we got into
Red card.
red color.
Red
So red
cards.
color was
2 subjects, 2
subjects,
actions,
two
2
actions, two
2
things.
things. Then we got into pink.
pink.
2 subjects.
2 subjects, 2
Two
actions, 1
actions, one thing.
Last one was 1
multiple
subject,
actions.
Multiple actions. and-
multiple actions, multiple objects. Okay.
White
Now
card.
here is where, apart from learning with these, in presentation 7, we also emphasize on one more thing. That is on our punctuation, where I have to put my comma. Correct? So, when sentences are being written, we always give children a notification on the punctuation part of it. What gets a capital letter? The first letter. Did you notice here the first letter is mentioned in red color? So we are also emphasizing on writing the first letter in he. Did you see here in the sentence in the label card? Where am I writing? Yeah. Did you notice here? The letter H is in color red. So we are working on the punctuation part of it, right? And then if you notice here, all the commas are maintained in the color red. See? Okay. So you have to emphasize on the comma with the red color sketch pen. So when you're making a big statement, you ensure these 2 things for your presentation 7. The first letter has to be in red, and all the commas and the full stop and your, what is that? Conjunction word has to be in red color because that is also being.
Article.
So that covers our presentation. Easy? A very simple and scoring lesson topic it is.
First letter in the sentence is also red color, ma'am.
Correct, yes, because you're working here, because it said you have to also emphasize on punctuation, right? So first letter gets a capital letter, right? So put it in the red color. So read your question. So, and if they tell you not to work on this emphasis, you don't have to worry. But if your question says with the help of presentation of 1 subject, multiple actions and objects, try to decode this particular sentence, and also you emphasize on the punctuation. If they say, you have to work in that way. Okay, so your label card, what you write should have in red color you have to put. Okay, so wherever you are writing, whatever the notes in your textbook, please write. If they mention on the punctuation part, it has to be on red color. Comma, full stop, everything has to be in red color. Clear? That's for today's lesson. Any doubts?
Action, giving red color circle, right? For subject, do we need to add black triangle? Action.
Yes. See, we are not doing, this is not grammar symbol box. We are working on sentence construction. The sentence construction, we are only asking questions. Who did it? Why did they do? What did they do? That's all. We are only picking our action words. Only the symbol what we pick is action. If you see, none of the other symbols are picked. We are not putting what is that?
Conjunction.
A triangle here. We're
Adverb.
not putting a triangle here. Correct? We're not putting the triangle there. We are only putting the circle here.
Circle. Red circle.
Yeah, red. Only the actions. If you see next, in the next set of exercises, we might also bring other grammar symbols. Okay, we might have sentences. See, we're going slow because as we mentioned, action is the heartbeat of the sentence. The children will have to start with that. And then we are questioning. Now we would question the grass. How is the grass? The green grass. Where does the grass grow? In the meadow. Where is the meadow? Down the hill. You might start getting a little bit more complex. As you go to the other sentences, like in the next class, when we go to the second stages, we would again go back to simple sentences. From there, we get into complex sentences, which will also have more extensions, which will involve indirect objects, which will involve attributes, right? And again, it will have also extensions for it. It is the same sentence, but if you see now, the questions would be so many. Why did it happen? How did it happen? When did it happen? To whom did it happen? How did he fetch? When you ask more questions, we're trying to work on more attributes to it. So that covers our language part of it. Okay. I don't want it to combine simple and complex, because complex, the next class, whatever we have, it's more in depth. Okay. So this is very simple. We have to do only with your action words. Very simple, but please remember to use the correct colors for your label cards, because in exam, we don't give you the color codes at all. We say with the help of a grammar symbol material, along with the simple sentence construction, perform this presentation. And you have to analyze yourself. Oh, this has one subject, it has one object, it has two things. Then what is the color? You have to analyze yourself. So make a table and try to analyze on that. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Is there anything that you want to ask?
Mama, exam timetable.
I have still not received your. Be prepared for the first week of April.
Okay.
First week of April. Any day. Okay. If it's Monday, starting from Monday, we're starting from Monday. Okay.
Ma'am, any sample questions for math?
Math questions, oh, I have not made. So probably I'll make and give you. I didn't have anything ready. What I had was like the regular ones, the previous years. But I wanted you to prepare for everything. So probably I'll do it and send it to you today. You could go through. Okay. Just go through right from the beginning, from numbers from 1 to 10, what are the materials you need? You start with numbers, right? So when you start with numbers, what is that you need for the numbers? You start with 1 to 10. So numbers through 1 to 10. So I would always have
Sandy numerals.
No, always introduce quantity first. Okay.
Spindle box.
When I introduce quantity, I will begin with counting. I have to give counting to children. After I'm done with counting, I give them how the symbols will look like. So I start with number rods. So we teach them on the counting part of the number rods. From there, what do we do? How does the number look like? So sandpaper, letters, I can show them how the symbols, how do we trace it, that we can actually work on to it. Then I would associate a number to the symbol. So association of a sandpaper with a number rod. So this is one. This is how the number rod looks. From there, we go to whether the number is even or odd. So you use cards and counters. From there, you get into introducing the concept of zero. So when you want to introduce number 10, you have to introduce zero. So we get into spindle box. So in spindle box, how many spindles you should have? 45.
45.
Because it's 0 plus 1 plus 2 until 9. In cards and counters, how many counters you got to have? 55 counters.
55.
Because it's 1 to 10, you're going to be counting. So you arrange the numbers and then you're going to mark a line and you will differentiate whether it is even or odd. So this completes your 1 to 10. From there, what do? You get into decimal system. In decimal system, you will introduce ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. What are the materials you can use? Either you use golden beads or you use stamp game, correct? So golden beads and stamp game, what you can do? You can perform operations. What operations you can do? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. How many digits? 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit, 4 digit. Can it be static? Can it be dynamic? Definitely yes. If it is static, no carry forward, no borrowing. If it's dynamic, it can have a carry forward, it can have borrowing concept. So using these two materials, you can do up to 4 digit addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. To support all of this, I can also have problem statements. Correct? So we have to make problem statements. Like say, for example, Nisha had 435 apples. Shika bought 355 apples. How many apples I have it together? I can make sentence cards also. Now the child will read and they will have to write the problem statement. So whenever they give you problem statement, again, the problems are color coded. Additions will be in a different color. Subtraction is in a different color. Multiplication in a different color. Division in a different color. Correct? But when you're drawing the tabulation of TH, H, tens and ones, you know the color codes, right? Thousands are green. Hundreds are red. Tens are blue. Ones are green. So you're going to be writing the numbers also in the same way and you will copy your statement. So this is for your decimal system. Now, how does a symbol look? You have a symbol card. So you have numbers from 1 to 9, numbers from 10 to 90, 100 to 900, 1000 to 9000. So when they ask you to make a number, like if they say 3455, so you take 3455 and you will put them together. So this is called changing. So you work on changing pattern. So whatever is a number that they've asked, you take those numbers and you make that copy. Correct? Once this is done, what would you do? You would associate. So if the teachers are saying, okay, this is the number, expand it. They might give you a number 3425, expand this. So you have to bring 3000, then 400, then 20 and 5. How do you symbolize on the quantity? I can use again golden beads or I can use my stamp game. So it's either way. So always remember quantity is first. Whatever is a number that they have given, you have to explicitly show that quantity. If it's 3000, bring 3000 cubes, bring 400s, bring 50, 10 bars and bring that. So that covers your major portion of arithmetic operations that you're going to be introducing for children. Now, apart from that, what else we have learned? We have used something to introduce linear counting. Correct? So whenever you're working on linear counting, what is linear counting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, until your whatever is your number. That's linear counting. To make it very easy, we have two materials. Once to introduce your teen numbers, that is from 11 to 19, we use teens quantity and teens board. From 21 to 99, we use tens quantity. Correct? So you will have a teens board, you will have a tens board. And you're going to insert the card and then you're going to be finding out the quantity accordingly. So that will help us to work on teens and tens quantity. From there, I can make an addition snake game. I can make a subtraction snake game. Correct? So we use tens quantity also. So we construct snake. So your problem statement should also be in a snake format and I can actually construct a snake and I can perform. One thing what we have to remember is anytime there is a replacement, I have to use my golden bead bar. Then I can get into my addition strip board. Simple addition, only from 1 to 18. I would use my addition strips. 0 to 9 blue color, 0 to 9 red color. And then I'm going to be adding. If it's subtraction strip board, I will have additional gray strips ranging from 1 to 18. Whatever is a number that I don't want, I will cover that. And then I'm going to perform the problem. Then I would have, apart from subtraction strip boards, I would have multiplication board. Multiplication board will have what beads? It will have red color. Multiplication represents greediness. So red color. You want to multiply, you want to grow more. So remember that. So some of them, it will pick green beads. No, multiplication is always red beads. So I will take a perforated board. I will have skittles and I will have cards also because I need to multiply 3 1 time, 3 2 time, 3 3 time. Right? So I should have a card. So the card slaughter is representing your multiplicand. And the skittle, what you're changing is your multiplier. 3 1 time. So I will put 3. 3 2 time. I will put another 3. 3 3 time. I'll put another 1. So that's your multiplier. Then you get into your division board. Division board will have how many green color ones? So you'll have skittles. So for division board, you should always remember, you will collect your dividend first. Like say if it is 35 divided by 5. You take a ball, you take 35 beats. Then you take 5 dividends and then only you will distribute, go horizontal. You will distribute it to each and then find out how many each one got it. So that's your division board. Okay. The rule is you have to collect your dividend. You can't keep your entire this thing. Even for subtraction, you will arrange only the first number and you will take away the second number for any of your subtraction operations. Then you have your small bead frame and a large bead frame. So it's very simple. So if you remember what is the material, what is the purpose, it becomes very, very simple for each one of you to perform your exercises. Leena, clear? Yeah. Go through. Just
Yes,
close
ma'am.
your eyes and remember the materials. You should be able to go through it. Okay? All right. Fine, guys. I'll try to
Ma'am,
list the questions and give it to you. We hardly have another 4 more minutes. Yeah, you can ask it.
ma'am, we need a sample question paper for maths and the language.
We'll give you. We'll give you.
Because of both the subject we worried about that.
It's very easy, guys. I don't know why you're so worried about it. It's so simple. Language also is nothing much. The entire portion, if I take language, you will break into oral and written. In oral language, again, I will have only 2 parts. I would enrich my vocabulary, I will train my language. When I have to enrich my vocabulary, I have to first see around me, right? So I bring objects from my environment, show it to children. And I will tell what is that object. And slowly I will write the name of the object. That's my first exercise. Second thing, every time I cannot bring objects, so I will make cards. Second exercise is I give the object to the child. So they will hold, they'll feel, they'll touch, see. That's sensory. Third thing is I cannot bring every time. So I make pictures and I sort it based on classification. So that's classified cards. Fourth thing, I want to go deeper and teach them the inner parts of those objects, which is related to geometrical, geographical, botanical, right? And geographical concepts. So I get into nomenclature cards. Fifth, every time I cannot bring cards, I will only communicate social relations. Got it? First 5 exercises. Then I want to train my language. I want to become better and better in my speaking, writing, reading. So that's when you do reading books, you tell stories, you do poems, you sing songs, rhymes, jingles, theater, event boards, rhyme time, news time. What else is there? Asking questions, involving games, including conversations and making games with parts of speech. This is all language training. How many exercises? 21 exercises done in your oral language. Easy. Next, I go to writing. When I go to writing, what is my mindset? The child should know every letter, A to Z. That is called the graphical key representation. Every letter the child should know. What is the sound of every letter? That's all you write. A as in apple, B as in ball, C as in cat, D as in dog. You write that. Apart from that, what are the other combinations? When I have a vowel and a vowel, is it making a new sound? Find out what are the diphthongs. When I'm having a consonant and a consonant, is it making a new sound? SH, TH, CH, they're making new sounds. PH, they're making new sounds. So they are digraphs. So bring whatever are the new sounds also into graphical key representation. We're not talking about long vowel sounds, short vowel sounds. We're not talking about all of that. It's like, what are the key symbols? What are the sounds of it? So basic 26 letter sounds along with the digraphs and diphthongs is what you're going to add. We're not going to work on vowel teams. We're not going to work on blends. Okay, these are the ones. This is what I have done with. Next, what is my importance? I understand if it is a beginning sound, ending sound, middle sound. For that, I have to have my games. After that is constructed, what do I make? I make sentences. In sentences, what else I could have? Punctuations, commas, question marks, full stop, all that punctuations would come. What gets a capital letter? That comes. Then I have to read a lot to children. So that's when my transcriptions comes. So a saying, a writing, a poem, anything, I have to make all of that. Then my reading folder comes. I put all my transcriptions into a reading folder and I give for a child to read. Once this is all done, what do I do? What do I do? If we get disconnected, connect back, okay? After this particular thing, in case if my reading is all done, my reading classification is all done, what do we do? Has anybody revised?
Grammar
You have
symbol
to
rules.
write. You have to write. Yeah, before that, you have to write, correct? So when you want to write, you start with sandpaper letter.